Today we got to be honest here. You can't expect to beat somebody that is a pro fighter. It don't matter how big you are. You could be 300 pounds. That might be an exception.
Woke up looking for the broccoli. Hot key, keep a horn on me. That come my seat.
All right, what's the word? TG. I mean, you know why we here today. We got when delusional bodybuilders get humbled by real fighters, man. Hey, so make sure y'all staying blessed. Make sure y'all staying iconic, bro. And we're gonna see what they're talking about. All right, man.
Professional bodybuilders think that muscle wins fights.
There was a time where I had to grab with him where I felt like I can crush this guy.
Even in a street fight, I'd beat the out of you in a street fight.
But anyone who actually knows combat knows that if you have no training, you're screwed. Technique, skill, experience, and cardio are the things you need in hand-to-hand combat, and bodybuilders have literally none of that. Yet their egos still think that if push came to shove, their years of bicep curls and bench press would be enough to crush a professional fighter. So here are the times when pro fighters humble delusional bodybuilders. It's undoubtedly the most notorious case of a bodybuilder thinking they can take on pro fighters. It's Bradley Martin. For the past
they gotta play that clip.
Has been adamant he could take on the majority of the UFC roster or even boxing world champions simply due to his size.
By the time that you do get to me,
I'm asleep. No.
You may not, even if you're not asleep, you might just be, you're not gonna want to fight anymore.
Damn. That's one.
But I've been in street fights though, so I know.
Damn, you really believe that?
He's obviously super jacked, incredibly strong in the gym, with his now trademark being, yeah, but I'm 260. Whether it's Nate Diaz, Sean O'Malley, Devin Haney, or even the former top 10 UFC heavyweight Brendan Schaub, Martin 100% believes he'd win.
You think you beat me in a street fight?
Huh?
You think you beat me in a street fight?
You in a street fight?
Yeah.
You're a podcaster, brother.
I love it. So the answer's in yes, yeah?
Of course.
I love it. I think I might be able to get you.
Yeah. You won't.
I mean, hey, look, it's good to have confidence. You know what I'm saying? It's good to have confidence as a podcaster, bodybuilder, that's 260 pounds. But at the end of the day, we got to be honest here. You can't expect to beat somebody that is a pro fighter. It don't matter how big you are. You could be 300 pounds. That might be an exception because that's a little bit too much. But at the same time, you still have a chance of getting done dead.
He always uses the term street fight, as if a UFC
don't get done dead
element with no rules. He believes that if he grabbed a hold of a smaller fighter, he could pick them up, throw them on the floor, and essentially crush them with his weight.
Demetrius Johnson, who fights at 125 in a street fight, would you up.
Why Demetrius Johnson?
He's tiny, but he's black belt in everything when it comes to hand-to-hand combat. But you don't. So on the ground, I know you'll think you pick him up and slam him into the concrete, or I don't know where you're thinking it's gonna go.
I'm gonna crush his head on the floor. No? Really?
If you've ever heard of the Dunning-Kruger effect, it perfectly explains Bradley Martin's situation. This guy basically knows nothing about fighting whatsoever, meaning he sits here at the peak of Mount Stupid with his irrational sense of confidence.
And I don't know if you're serious or not. Again, you always fuck around. And it goes viral, so good for you. But I have to defend your ass, man, because we're buddies. It's exhausting.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a little trolly. The Nate one's a little trolly. Devin Haney in a street fight, I'll beat the out of him though. I really do believe that. 150 pounds. I do believe this one.
He's admitted that part of him is kind of trolling at this point because it sends him viral each time, but you can see a part of him really believes what he says. And his words have angered the MMA community.
Anytime I see him with a fighter and tries to how would I? Nah. Stop that. It's just no. For me personally, some people aren't even man enough to watch the jocks we fight in.
Yeah.
They're not even man enough or worthy enough to step in the ring or in the cage with us because you're about that life. Yeah. And when they, how would I fare? How would I? I'm like, stop.
It ended up with numerous UFC fighters offering to spar Bradley Martin, with even DJ himself being super keen.
He's 265, he's a bodybuilder, so obviously he's got the weight advantage. But at the end of the day, that's the beautiful thing about grappling. It's not about weight, it's about technique. And grappling, I told Brendan Schaub that I want to make it happen. I'm busy doing other things right now, but when I get back from all my vacation, I'm going to fly down to Calabasas and we're gonna roll, man. I'm going to roll him up.
But while he strangely never accepted their invitations, thankfully Martin has still been humbled on numerous occasions. The most clear and obvious time was when he grappled with a few different jiu-jitsu experts, and it didn't go well for Bradley.
My head bad.
You good?
Yeah, hold on.
Wait, that was Bradley?
I got rocked.
Oh my God.
Against a high-level jiu-jitsu guy.
That's Bradley. Wait, I did not recognize him because he has hair in this. When did it all go away? And that's not a diss. I'm generally confused. We got to see that diss again. We got to see that fall one more time.
Look at my head bad. You good? Yeah, hold on. I got rocked.
Oh my gosh. I know his back hurt after
Against a
that,
high-level
man.
jiu-jitsu guy of a similar size, Martin couldn't do a thing. Even with all his muscle, strength, and power, he could hardly move his opponent off his base.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I hope his girl was not watching in the crowd, man. Dude, he had him doing a whole tornado. I don't know what type of dance move is that, gang, but this ain't that, man. That ain't it.
He got thrown around, ragdolled, and submitted in any way the BJJ expert wanted. But then Martin rolled with another guy, one who was considerably smaller than him. And while the guy decided to pull guard against Martin, he did fare a little better.
I wear it for golf, to the office, I wear it everywhere. Hey guys, this is Joe Kudla, founder of Viore, and I'm here today.
Nice. Get some gas.
Clearly, the jiu-jitsu didn't work out as Martin planned. And it was the same story when he had an impromptu wrestling match with a security guard.
What's going on? Who's winning? Not Bradley. Let me tell you. Oh, there we go. There you go. Ah, okay.
Oh my gosh. Hold on, wait, the security. Hold on, what was the security though? Oh, no way.
He outgrappled,
It's no
bullied
way.
around, and almost suplexed. And although there was only their reactions to go off, it sounded like even Logan Paul destroyed Bradley Martin in a wrestling match they had.
That was fucking nothing, man, I'll be honest. Yeah.
I did slam the fuck out of him.
I just popped his head like a speed bag.
Of course, Logan is an athletic guy himself and has a decent amount of college wrestling experience, but he's not a fighter. I think it's safe to say that if Bradley Martin hasn't learned his lesson after these 3 encounters, he never will. And while Bradley Martin is probably the most high-profile case of a bodybuilder being humbled, here's a story that very few people are aware of. It involves a Belgian MMA fighter called Zogu, who, despite having an 0-2 record as a pro, was able to smash a cocky bodybuilder he had some Instagram beef with. In short, the bodybuilder called Bilal claimed he'd be too strong for any MMA fighter. Strangely enough, the majority of his Instagram posts are mocking martial artists and bragging about how good he is at fighting.
So a grappler is really strong enough to make me tap? Good luck. Where's the ones at? Where is the ones? Nah, I gotta see that. MMA community is so DELULU, they really think a skinny MMA fighter could defeat a big bodybuilder in a street fight without rules. Wake up to reality, my dear insecure MMA fans. How is someone gonna stop this in a street fight? Buddy. I got bullets. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. That's what I got in GTA. I'm not talking in real life here. Twitch don't do nothing.
And for whatever reason, the Belgian MMA fighter decided to defend the honor of mixed martial arts, drove 7 hours into Germany, went to the bodybuilder's backyard with a camera guy, and duked it out.
What's up? Now you're here.
Yeah, no, I'm here.
Now you think you can beat me.
You're all talking.
Show me.
You're all talking.
You are all talk.
No, you
talk a little bit.
What the fuck is it?
Even though Zogu had fought as low as featherweight and
The way he appeared off the screen is crazy. Hold on, wait. Why did he appear off the screen like that? Oh my gosh. Why did it move? We'll do that with the video, bro. Can it just play? Can it just play for a minute? Jeez Louise. Brother, like he hit a Super Mario block and jumped down. Yo, because why did he just vanish from the screen?
Even though Zogu had fought as low as featherweight and had never even won a professional fight, he made easy work of the bodybuilder.
It's crazy.
It actually looked like the MMA fighter took it easy on the bodybuilder, throwing mostly body shots. Ultimately, he tapped him out twice in just a couple of minutes.
You might be big, but my boyfriend is stronger. Why do you believe that? My boyfriend, because he's a professional bantamweight MMA fighter.
And the bodybuilder, who was totally gassed out, decided enough was enough. Yet, in what totally contradicts this guy's entire Instagram page about him being so strong he can win a fight with ease, he claimed if he had time to train, he would have been successful.
Come on, dude. You know you was cooked.
This guy's training his whole life, you know? Still, I said to him, Norman, I need time to practice, train a little bit. But yeah, it's fair game. I said I want to fight. I did it. That's all 2 times. He's good, but I'm better.
He asked for a rematch after he had some time to practice, but that doesn't seem to be happening anytime soon. The bodybuilder is still mocking MMA fighters on his Instagram to this day, although that fight is out there for the world to see. But if we needed any more proof that muscle won't overcome a trained fighter, let's take a look at what happened when 5-time world's strongest man Mariusz Pudzianowski tried MMA.
Day 1, month 3, month 6, forever. These 4 milestones represent my journey from ball.
The Polish man, Mountain, is one of the most successful competitive strongmen in history, but he's also an avid MMA fan and fighter. Due to his sheer size, he actually won his first 2 bouts, albeit against lesser opposition. The first by TKO, but he gassed badly in a second fight, which, bear in mind, was only 2 rounds. And then somehow, some way, he was signed to fight against the former 2-time UFC heavyweight champion Tim Sylvia. We have seen some crazy matchmaking in MMA history, and this one is right up there.
He fought Tim Sylvia like really early on, like when so he fought Tim Sylvia in his 3rd pro fight, and he got the fuck beaten out of him.
Sylvia was on the back end of his career, but he was still the UFC champion just 3 years prior, and had over 30 fights to his name compared to Pudzianowski, who barely had 10 minutes under his belt. Early on, Pudzianowski actually had some success with low kicks, and was even able to hold Sylvia against the cage.
Będzie powalenie, Mariusz Pudzianowski kontra Tim Sylvia, wysoko pociągnij Mariusz jeszcze tę nogę. I Sylvia jest na dole.
But as the fight went on, Mariusz completely gassed out, could hardly land a strike, and ended up tapping the ground and pound.
Pudzianowskiego, Sylvia w tej chwili absolutnie dominuje. Jeszcze jeden low kick, widział walkę.
Oh my gosh, low, whoa.
Z Kaładucin widział, że
He gave him a little tap. He trying to start up the engine or something. He said, vroom. Bro. Trying to kickstart the game, bro. Why did he kick him? He said, come on, go ahead, get up for me, buddy.
Sylvia w tej chwili absolutnie dominuje. Jeszcze jeden low kick, widział walkę z Kaładucin, widział,
Look at
kopał i Pudzianowski odczuwał te ciosy. Będzie starał się trzymać ręce rywala, ale wiele pozycja północ-południe na drugą stronę. Znów mamy boczną z drugiej strony i próba dojścia. Czyżby wykluczenie? Sylwia będzie
the way his hand was.
jednak próbował.
Oh my
Z drugiej
God.
strony i próba dojścia. Czyżby wykluczenie? Sylwia będzie jednak próbował.
Pudzianowski actually dedicated himself to MMA full-time and had a pretty decent career in Poland, fighting all the way into his mid-40s. But even so, his encounter with Tim Sylvia was a stark reminder that strength doesn't equal fighting prowess.
Go to US, fight with Sylvia. Oh, I am crazy. Sylvia, show me first time what is this MMA.
And on the topic of strongmen, here's perhaps the most famous one of all time, Hafthor Bjornsson. We all remember the old clip of Thor having a play spar with Conor McGregor, and while that isn't the story of this video, it's proof he believes his enormous 6'9" frame is enough to win a fight. Because after their time together, Hafthor claimed he would have crushed McGregor at will and went nice on him so as to not injure Conor before his fight against Jose Aldo.
There was a time where I had to grab with him, where I felt like, I can crush this guy. But he had a fight against Aldo, I think a week later, so I was like, I better be nice to him because I don't want to injure him right now. He's about to have the biggest fight of his life right now. It's going to be a huge fight for him. And that fight actually sat him to the moon, basically. So he should thank me and probably pay me a bit to
for not crushing him.
And although we'll never find out what would have happened if Hafthor would have been more aggressive against McGregor, we do know how he fared against BJJ superstar Gordon Ryan. Despite letting Thor start on top, it just took Gordon Ryan a few seconds to reverse the position and end up on top. After that, Ryan gave Thor some tips on how to stay on top, and they went again. But the outcome was actually worse. The BJJ World Champ was able to take Thor down and hold him there like it was nothing.
Yo, he's going through it right now. Oh my gosh. I'm surprised he ain't tap out yet.
Now, I would guess that Thor knew he couldn't out-grapple someone as talented as Gordon Ryan, and he actually admitted that he wanted to learn more.
It was nice, humbling, but at the same time, makes you want to learn more, makes you want to come again, do more, especially like getting to know you too. You guys are amazing human beings, nice, humble.
And then finally, coming out of Romanian promotion RXF, this tattooed-up Instagram model stepped in the cage and found out muscle doesn't win fights.
Oh, I gotta see this.
We're not exactly sure of the backstory of this fight, only that the tattooed bodybuilder found another gym bro, but it was clear that he had no background in fighting whatsoever. He got rocked within seconds, dominated on the ground, and tapped out to a choke that wasn't even under the chin properly.
Oh my god. Oh my god. How is he taking this? Yeah, just tap out, but